normally he's watching YouTube, Chromecasting on the TV, but apparently Google botched the updates to the Chromecast they rolled out overnight, and not every Chromecast in the world, but many Chromecasts around the world aren't working, including ours. So he's kind of lost without his background noise, so he wanted to be part of the video. So, hi, how are you? I messed around with the dolls that I opened last week. So the door is open since there's no sound, so I didn't want the cats freaking out, but he might reappear. Here's the doll at 100%. I changed her out of that happy party fashionistas dress she was really wearing and put her in something a little more in line with the hat. And this is a fun fiber. I think it might be mohair, but I'm not sure. It's just so fluffy. So that's her. And then the Gabby doll, I got her out of her sports clothes. And she is still adorable, but her hair is terrible. Not only was it, I'm really not a ponytail kind of person, never have been. So not only did I not care for the fact that her hair was in a ponytail, it was also, there's no part rooted into it, and it's crimped, so it's an odd texture. So I will probably curl her hair eventually, I just obviously haven't yet. I'll just put it up in this super messy bun. So she looks comfortable. And then that Darcy I showed you a few weeks ago, I think I took all of her hair out right before I got taken with this project. I figured that I wasn't gonna have the mood to reroot her anytime soon. So I got out the fake fur and I started sewing that onto her head so I could do the bouffant things. But I wasn't really feeling that either. So I picked all the stitches out and laid out all the little scraps of the fake fur I was using. And I thought, you know, I'm going to try to make a fake fur wig. There are tons of tutorials online for making fake fur wigs. I've tried them in the past. I very stubbornly wanted to machine sew them, which for me just doesn't really work. So I just took scraps that were already kind of the right shape, and using what I remember from the tutorials, I think I actually kind of made this wig 90 degrees off from how I should have. I put the curved parts at the front and back instead of the sides. If you look at fake fur wig making tutorials, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I stitched all these together. I just used this really simple whip stitch by hand, and it went together a lot faster than I thought. And it doesn't matter if my hand stitching is horrible because it's inside the wig. I do glue wigs onto doll heads because I like to style them. So if it's glued in place, it will hold on better while I brush it and move it. So I gave her this wig glued on so I could style it and put it up. And I also overpainted her eyes to be side glance and brown because I am biased, but I really think that brown eyes and pink hair is a good combination. And I gave her a touch of blush too. And obviously dressed her. The Darcy body is fairly close to Barbie in size, and Darcy's and then the later Gems, who, like I said, contrary to popular belief, Darcy and Gem did not use the same body because Hasbro did not own Kenner until 5 years after Gem. It's just they're suspiciously similar. They can wear a lot of Barbie clothes, but clothes to fit her and go with the pink hair. Then with this, again, I'm not used to where the camera is, and I keep reading to flip the screen around, so I'm like guessing that you can see all this. But people have been commenting on this sweater, and this sweater is from an Etsy seller called Love to Knit Doll Clothes. And she also, sometimes she puts sweaters that she knits for dolls on eBay too. And it's Chezabelle, which I'm not sure if that's pronounced Chezabelle or Sheabel. And then I think there's a number. I think I've mentioned this before because I'm pretty sure I remember talking about and being unsure how it's pronounced. But she knits inexpensive doll sweaters. Some are better than others. So if you follow her stuff, look enough, you can find some nice sweaters. So that's her. And then I thought, well, I want to try to make another wig. I have a few pieces Not a lot, just a few pieces of long pile fake fur that I got from my old online friend Modern Wizard in a trade when Modern Wizard was doing some fur wigs too. And so I had these, I traded for a couple different kinds of fake fur from her. This pink and a purple that's the same, but just in purple, but other than that it's the same. And this gray that I actually got it with the intent not to make a doll wig, but to make a tribble. And I think this is a very nice and successful tribble. It's a very tribbly tribble. But I did have some of this left over. Now this has sort of almost an undercoat, like 2 layers. There's a long stuff, but then there's also a shorter, fluffier layer under it. So this fur is very different from this fur. So the wig that I end up making from it is like just bulkier because the fur itself is floofier. And floofier. And also I didn't want to cut, I have like a 3-inch square piece of this left, but I was just using all the scrap pieces. So I ended up assembling a lot of little scrap pieces together, and even with this very small hand-stitched seams, it added enough bulk. But that ended up being this. This is the head from the Lelia Chinese fashion doll that I think people get on Alibaba. There are some Lelia dolls on eBay right now, at least yesterday when I checked, but they were the ones with the inset eyes, or the ones that are straight up knockoffs of Barbie. But I think people get this on Alibaba. This is the one that Cosmo Moore sent. I actually have another Lelia that John sent. So I'm pretty sure their face paint is exactly the same. But this is her stock hair, this light pink bob. It's how these heads are sold. I've seen other people with the same doll head. This one had, like I said, Cosmo Moore sent this, and this had like long honey blonde hair that was rooted all the way around, and then like 2 rows up here and bangs, and that was it. So I did not feel any remorse taking all of her hair out. Her rooting wasn't that dense either, and the Darcy hair fiber is, it would probably take a heat set really well, but you know, blonde. So so I removed all of her hair and made this wig for her. Which again, this wig is also glued on just because I like to glue wigs on, because if you use white glue, it's gonna come off. If you use it on like a resin doll head, it's gonna maybe even peel off. It might peel off a vinyl too. So I don't see any problems with using glue on a wig. And the wig actually fits very well. I didn't really need the glue. Same for this one. But like I said, since I like to style it and tug it around and play with it, I like the stability of glue. I'm babbling because this is all I have to talk about this week. Yeah. I've been doing odds and ends of sewing and getting my room organized, and this is a little better in here, but there's still, like, I have this random upholstery foam that I don't know what to do with. I don't just want to stick it in storage. I want to get something made out of it. I'll think of something. And I guess I can show you the dinosaurs, what progress they're in. Right, come on. I'm not going to turn on the light in here because this is just quick. You see, I have some that I have painted the base coats on, and some that I have painted the base coats and the secondary colors on, and some that I have not painted at all. And that's not the only group, because we also have this group. So we'll see how things go. And these are just the first 2 layers on some of them. I have not gotten anywhere near the pearlescent layer or the semi-gloss top coat that just completely transforms the way they look. As you can see, not everything is a dinosaur. And I hope you think they're as much fun as I do. And this is my lovely airbrushing setup. You can see how much pink I have used. And projects that I might be working on sometime in the future are some green dolls. But that is like way on hold right now because I don't know what I'm going to do, where I'm going to end up going with them. And we're all about dinosaurs. And so that's the state of my doll craft right now. Next week is what we call around here Splody Day, because everybody just buys cheap fireworks because this is Tennessee, the state that is synonymous with cheap fireworks, and they blow everything up all night. And I am glad that Floof is inside now because I don't have to go outside and try to find her first thing in the morning to put her in the garage. So she can freak out about the fireworks inside this year. Yay. And, since husband will be off on the 4th next week, he can stay home with the kiddo, and I will be able to do my regular shopping and maybe see if the thrift stores are open. Haven't decided yet, but I'll let you know next week. Thanks.